Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all having a fantastic evening. Tonight I'm going to be doing a review of a horror film from the UK, English language, released in the year 2005, directed by Neil Marshall, and this film was called The Descent. And the story of The Descent is as follows. On an annual extreme outdoor adventure, six women meet in a remote part of the Appalachians to explore a cave hidden deep in the woods. Far below the surface of the earth, disaster strikes when a rockfall blocks their exit and there's no way out. The women push on, praying for another exit, but there is something else lurking under the earth. The friends are now prey, forced to unleash their most primal instincts in an all-out war against the unspeakable horror, one that attacks without warning again and again and again. So the movie starts off with a group of friends. One of the friends has gone through a tragedy, a personal tragedy, and the other friends think that the best way to get her back on her feet is to take her for an outdoor extreme adventure. So they're all adventurers, and they all have that close connection because they love the outdoors. So they go to these mountains, and in the forest they find this cave. Inside the cave, they're finding all these wonders. So the leader of these friends says that it's uncharted territory and that they can name it after. Basically, if they explore it and they find it, it'll be named after them. So it's too good an opportunity to take up. To pass up on, sorry. So they get inside the caves, and then there's a rock fall that blocks their exit. Now, there's a revelation that comes about which puts them in grave danger. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but basically they're stuck under the earth, and they may or may not be alone. So it's going to be a battle for survival in order to get out of here in one piece, and whether or not they can achieve this, that's something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now, my thoughts on The Descent. This is one of the rare occasions where the director has combined very good gore sequences with very good psychological horror, a very suspenseful horror, and the setting of the film is what makes it. The setting inside the caves, you get a very strong sense of claustrophobia, you feel that there is no way out, you feel there are very tight spaces, so if you're claustrophobic yourself, you're going to really experience this film because it's very atmospheric. So the atmosphere is what drives the film and what makes the film as good as it actually is. Now, to combine that, usually these days you get movies that are gore or suspense, and very rarely do they mix the two together, but Neil Marshall does it very well. At the start of the movie, you get a sense that, they're trapped, you don't know whether or not they're alone. Now, I thought that was the best part of the film, and I think the film kind of loses it a little bit once you get to realize what's going on. I thought it would have been better if the director took it another direction, but yeah, that first initial period where they're stuck and they're starting to sort of hear things, you don't know whether or not they're going insane or if something is there. So that was the best part of it, and I thought that was the creepiest part of it because of the caves. You've got very narrow spaces, you've got very, very dark atmosphere, you've got things in the shadows that may or may not exist, and I thought that level of uncertainty really carried the film forward. But as I said, towards the end, when you get to know exactly what's going on, it does start to fall down an action sort of horror film, and I thought it loses the effect that it had to start with. So that was my only criticism of it, but apart from that, I thought it was a very enjoyable horror film. The acting was very good. No real actors that I recognised from any other films, so for me, they were unknowns, and I thought they do a good job. I mean, when the bad things start happening, you feel for them. And there's a little secret within the group, and it does, the group dynamics are very, evident when these bad things start happening. So they have to survive, they have to work together, and then, as I said, there's a secret that threatens to tear the group apart when, they really need each other. So it is a movie about teamwork, it is a movie about hidden secrets, and how we cope under extreme pressure. So the gore sequences are there. I thought they were very, very well done, although it's very dark. The cinematography, you can still see a lot of it. I thought that there were some very scary moments, but as I said, when it starts to get into the second half, it starts to derail it a little bit. It starts to get a little bit ridiculous, and it starts to fall into the unrealistic sort of approach, whereas the first half of the film really does hit you with suspense, and it's very realistic, and it's a very chilling film because it does hit you very psychologically. So the ending was very good. I thought it was a good way to cap it off. It wasn't a brilliant ending, but yeah, it wasn't a bad ending because a lot of films like this are ruined by their endings. But fortunately, I thought the ending for this one, it did cap it off. It didn't really blow you out of the water, but then again, it didn't derail it, so that was good. Music was there. I thought the side story of the woman's tragedy, the main character's tragedy, was there as well. Thought it was good that they didn't focus too much on that side story. It just gives you enough information to really care about this character. So you've got likable characters, and for something different, you have a group of women instead of men. The women are the heroes in this film, so it does take a different sort of approach. For female viewers, you will like that sort of aspect to it. And yeah, I mean, it is a movie about fighting against the odds, about basically working together and how far friendship can take you. And yeah, I mean, it does get very terrifying, but as I said, it does start to lose it a little bit towards the end, but thankfully it doesn't derail it completely. And in the end, what you get is a very, very memorable horror film. So overall, I'm going to give The Descent 4 stars. It could have been better, but having said that, it is still a very good film, very psychological, and some very good gore sequences make it a film that will appeal to a lot of fans of, different types of horror movies. And yeah, it's just another very good British horror film that you can put to the pile. So 4 stars for The Descent. It is coming highly recommended. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.